Hey, what's going on? Travis here, trainaggressive.com coming at you. And here we are, fourth week of the CrossFit Open 15.4 just released. And with this one, straight up muscular endurance type workout. This is all going to come down to handstand push-ups. Power cleans are just kind of thrown in there to just keep us moving. But ascending ladder, Sheem, 8 minutes. Starting off with 3 power cleans, 3 handstand push-ups. We stay at 3 and then we go to 6, 3, and then 9, and so on. We keep on going up the ladder, both movements for 8 minutes. And like I said, this one is definitely all about the handstand push-ups. And the new standard that they put in place is going to really separate things. It can make or break certain people. Definitely, I'm in favor of that. I'm liking the new standard. It's going to kind of really even the field out, especially with like the shorter guys that were doing, 3-inch handstand push-ups before. Not going to happen now. As we saw with Josh Bridges in the live throwdown, he went strict right away. Don't do that. You're going to want to kip right from the get-go. Kip right from the get-go. But either way, let's go ahead and go into the breakdown for the attack plan here. Power cleans, like I said, power cleans, you're just going to want to get through those as fast as possible. So if you're really efficient, I would recommend you could probably go with 3s. The touch and goes. We're getting that momentum from the touch and go, so you're going to be able to speed through those power cleans a little bit quicker. I wouldn't recommend going more than 3 at a time, even if you're strong and efficient. I'd maybe go 3 touch and goes, drop the bar, quick little breather, grab and go, and 3 touch and goes again once you get into the higher rounds. But if that's not the case, fast singles is the way to go. Just a nice and easy pace. Just get a rep, drop, but follow that bar right back down. So you don't want to be dropping, stepping away from the bar. You want to get right back up on the bar and go. Now, another little thing with the 3s. So whether to decide on to go singles or 3s, I say this: if you're strong and efficient and you're hitting 3s, obviously those sets of 3s are going to be faster than doing single reps. However, if you do a quick set of 3 and you drop the bar and you're resting for 5-10 seconds, if you're doing singles, you're going to be doing the same amount of reps in the same period of time. So you got to really kind of break it down in that regard. So if you're doing 3s real quick, you're saving time as long as you're getting right back on the bar after you drop it after that 3rd rep. So if you do a quick set of 3 unbroken, drop the bar, take 1 or 2 breaths, and then you're right back on it, good. But if you slow down, just go ahead and go to your fast singles. Go to your fast singles. But either way, it's not going to be made and break. It's not going to be make and break on the power cleans. It's all going to be on the wall with the handstand push-ups. So number 1 thing here: avoid red line. So if you hit failure, so meaning you crush out that rep, you got to lock it out. It's just really slow. Boom, you're going to cash yourself out and you're going to be done. Once we hit red line, especially with handstand push-ups, more than any body weight movement out there, you're finished, all right? Because those delts, once those babies get fatigued out, you're going to be screwed. So something that I didn't list here, which is probably the most important thing: kip from the get-go. Kip from the get-go. Even if you're somebody that's super efficient, don't do the strict handstand push-ups. Save yourself. 8 minutes is a little bit longer time, and we want to spend as much time as we can on the wall getting reps of handstand push-ups. So you're going to want to reserve your energy, use those hips, explode through, kip from the get-go. All right. With that, we're going to want to make sure we make every single rep count. So take your time with these. I know kipping, you can cycle through these movements really, really quick. But with the new standard, you're going to want to make sure those heels come all the way above that line. So take your time, make sure every rep counts, especially when you start to get fatigued. And I can tell you from experience, regionals last year, the strict handstand push-up workout, I was getting no reps, a lot. And those take a lot out of you, obviously physically, but mentally as well. All right, so if you do happen to get some no reps, just shake it off. Just forget about it, and you just got to go. You just got to go. But take your time, make sure every rep counts. And what I'll say on that is, at the top of your reps, just like a push press, boom, just make sure you get that head through, lock those shoulder blades out. And as far as like technique and form go, which I'll hit on a little bit here down the list here, a big mistake that a lot of people make, especially with their handstand push-ups, is they look straight up. All right, so if you're to do a push press and we're looking straight up, you know, we're not going to be in a good overhead press position, whereas keep that head neutral, we're going to be in a lot better position. That's going to give us a couple extra inches on that handstand push-up, which we're going to need to make sure we get our heels over the line. So if you're efficient, as far as rep scheme goes, if you're efficient, go unbroken as long as possible, obviously, while avoiding red line. So get small batches of reps, all right? So if you're really efficient and you can hit, you know, when you're fatigued, 9, 12, you know, whatever. Once you start getting up into those higher rep ranges, if you're good to go, stay on that wall as long as you can, but make sure once those reps start to really slow down and you're really pressing out at the end, jump up off the wall and really shake those arms out, because once that lactic acid builds up and you hit that failure, like I mentioned, you're going to be done. You're not going to be hitting bigger sets. You're going to be hitting singles, and that's the last thing that you want to do. All right? So small batches. Another thing I would definitely recommend with this, since we don't have a set box, which kind of helps people line up their hands in the past. With this, we can have our hands wherever we want, but obviously they're going to have to be closer to make sure that we're getting our heels over the line. So what I do is take a little bit of piece of tape, mark it off on the floor before the workout starts so you know where your hands are going. Boom, you're jumping right back on the wall, you know exactly where to go. Or obviously chalk on the hands, whatever. That'll help you out. But I would even mark off your head, where your head's going to be touching. So you got that little triangle, you got your hands where your head's going to be touching, just as a good reference point, just to give you some targets to shoot for when you're going from the power cleans back to the wall. You don't want to be like, where do my hands need to go? Because you're going to be tired and you're not going to want to have to worry about that stuff. So just get that stuff listed out on the ground. Now again, technique, form, just got to make sure midline staying solid, okay? Solid. Especially at the top. We're going to have to really stretch out that body, make sure that head gets through the arms. Like I mentioned, people like to look up. So one thing that's going to do is throw your midline off. Keep that head neutral, stare straight across the room the whole time. Head straight through the whole time. That's going to keep you in a solid position as far as your technique and form goes. With your kip, okay, if you've been working kip, you're going to want to get a big kip on all these reps here. Again, you're going to want to make every single rep count. So really bring those knees down to the elbows. I see a lot of people when they kip, they keep their knees together when they come down. That's not going to put you in the best position possible. So as you come down, let those knees spread apart. You're thinking almost like a tripod position where your knees are going to be touching your elbows. And then drive your heels up to the ceiling. Don't be pointing your toes. Drive your heels up to the ceiling, up onto the wall, and again, just explode with those hips. And it's very much like a push press, push jerk, where when we're moving the bar, you got to let the hips move the bar first instead of pressing early, all right? That's going to fatigue out those shoulders big time. That's the whole reason you use the kip, is so we can use the power generated in the hips. So be patient with that kip. Like I said, take your time, make sure every rep counts. But on your kip, boom, make sure those hips are getting extended, and then we're driving with the arms. Okay, another mistake I've seen people make a lot with the kipping handstand push-up is they get set for a kip, they drive through, and they're already pressing before their legs are even, extended. So let the hips do the work, save those shoulders. That's the reason we're using the kip, right? Slow and steady. Last but not least, slow and steady. Maintain your composure, especially if you're getting no reps. Don't get all pissed off. You're just going to waste energy. Just shake it off, get back up on the wall, and get good reps. All right, so that's what it is, 15.4 attack plan. Just hit it as hard as you can, and like I always say, have fun with it. That's why we're doing this, because we love training, we love pushing our body and our mind. So have fun with it, do as best you can, and go 110% in with it, and keep living, training aggressive. Travis, best of luck.